Good morning, Dan and Amy. Where else but in America could a Jewish kid from Kansas, son of self-made entrepreneurial parents and a grandson of Russian and Eastern European immigrants, end up as a congressman, secretary of agriculture, and chief lobbyist for Hollywood? Well, that's a great question. That is the life and times of Dan Glickman in one question. He's a former VP of the Aspen Institute. He served as a member of the Congress from Kansas's 4th for almost 2 decades and was U.S. Secretary of Agriculture under President Clinton. And as he referenced there, chairman of the Motion Picture Association of America for half a dozen years as well. I think
God, I feel like I haven't done anything with my life.
I think he came right after Jack Valente, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, Dan Glickman, thanks so much for... and I just forgot to plug the book. What am I doing? Laughing at Myself, My Education in Congress, On the Farm, and at the Movies is the name of Dan Glickman's book. Dan Glickman, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
It's a joy to join you this morning. I love Chicago, and it's great to be on the phone with you.
All right. Well, everybody from Chicago is moving to Kansas and outlying states, so you're going to have be able to reach out and touch more Chicagoans in the near term.
Well, maybe the traffic won't be as bad if more people move from Chicago to Kansas.
And feel free to weave in stories from your very interesting life. But where would you, as a Democrat, where would you place our politics and the Biden administration's leadership of the country thus far?
Well, our politics is highly toxic, unnecessarily partisan. I think the Biden administration and the president himself is doing a good job to try to change the tone. I worry about our democracy, the insurrection in January and the failure to ratify the presidential electoral process. Those are really serious problems that impact the long-term stability of our democracy. But I think the Biden administration is trying to change the tone. And the focus of my book, to be honest with you, is that a little bit of humor and lightening up by our political leaders would be helpful in this process.
Well, it's tough to lighten up when you're taking the position that we're suffering under the oppressive weight of systemic racism, and everything needs to be force-fed through a racial or otherwise identitarian lens, and everything is an existential struggle against imaginary oppressors. I mean, it's tough to, I don't know, I think it's tough to get, for example, AOC and the squad to be happy-go-lucky about what they describe as the problems of America.
Yeah, on the other hand, if you look back at our country's history, almost every of our impactful presidents, and I'm, Lincoln, Kennedy, Reagan, Roosevelt, and in Congress as well, have been people who have understood that you have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a simple reason. And this is on both the left and the right. Mm-hmm. And self-deprecating humor is a way to soften the toxic and hostile atmosphere there. It will not alone cause the solution to all of our serious problems affecting our democracy, but it is missing now. We have humorless politicians often in government and in politics, and it makes it a lot harder for people to get along with each other. And, you go to Congress or you're in government or in the state legislature to get things done. And the only way to get things done is to have good human relations with each other. And that's why I talk about my own experiences in life, the ups and downs of what I faced, and I'm certainly not a perfect person nor a perfect politician, but how, self-deprecating humor can be a positive force in helping people wade through this toxic process.
So we need a Sergeant Hulka at the helm to tell Francis to lighten up, is basically what you're saying.
Well, that's right. I mean, look, I'm not arguing they should all be comedians because they're not.
Yes.
And that's not
intentionally,
about,
at least.
But I am arguing that there are human qualities that make our government function better, and a lot of those are leadership in the executive branch and in the legislature and the Congress, and it works. I'm just telling you, I've seen it over and over again. When I was a freshman congressman 100 years ago, Hubert Humphrey, the former vice president, spoke to all the freshman congressmen, And I never forget his words. He was dying of cancer at the time, but he said, "Fight every battle like it's the most important battle in the world. But when you're done, whether you lose or you win, go up to your adversary. He or she is not your enemy. He was your opponent in the situation, and shake his or her hand, because you're going to need that person on the next battle." And that is something that is actually missing in today's politics.
Mr. Glickman, can you give us an example of when self-deprecating humor helped you in a situation?
Well, I can. It's not one of the things I'm joyful in life, but I like to sing, and I'm a very bad singer. But years and years ago, there was a problem involving the House Bank, and a lot of the members of Congress had checks at the House Bank where they had overdrafts, and yours truly was one of them. And they weren't bounce checks because all the checks were paid. I don't know if you remember that or not.
Oh, yeah.
And so, it was just terrible because I was at home and people were making fun of me, and it was causing me terrible problems. So the local Gridiron Club had this dinner, and they had 3 or 4 nights of this, and there were thousands of people there. And I made up a song to the tune of "Hey Big Spender" from Sweet Charity, or I forgot the name of the Broadway show was. And I sang it. I made fun of myself, and I talked about how I didn't know to learn to add or subtract and whatever it was. And afterwards, people by the dozens came up to me and he said, "You know what? I bounced a few checks in my life. It's really not so terrible." And I kept saying, "Well, I really didn't bounce the check. They were paid, but blah, 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 blah." And it just totally turned the environment because I was willing to make fun of myself. Now, I'm not saying that everybody can do it in that context, but a lot of it is just plain listening to what the other person is talking about. And, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a simple reason. And our politics today is more like 2 mouths and 1 ear. And it's not the total answer to our problem because, as you point out, there are substantial differences between the parties on subject matters. But it's just these human qualities that can make a bit of a difference. And they've really impacted my life and helped me pass legislation and get along with people better.
That house banking contretemps you were in there, don't feel bad. There's a lot of University of Michigan grads who can't balance a checkbook. So you're not the only one.
Right, and I'm glad. And we've had problems winning football games too. So that's another problem.
All right, so since you were Secretary of Agriculture, can I tell you my favorite agriculture joke?
Sure.
All right.
Sure.
No, I can't wait to hear this.
Yeah. So.
Oh yes, don't steal his material.
A farmer walks into the Department of Agriculture and he sees a clerk at his desk with his head down and he's sobbing uncontrollably. And the farmer asks the clerk, "Well, what's wrong?" And the clerk says, "My farmer died."
Oh my God.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's
so bad.
No,
I probably
that's
I probably won't use.
That's a bureaucracy joke.
This is why you shouldn't sing and you shouldn't tell jokes.
It's a bureaucracy joke. One clerk for every farmer.
No. I tell you what.
Come on.
Not a bad,
is this thing on?
I used to live in Iowa and Minnesota.
Respect.
That's not funny.
Oh, okay.
It's but good try.
Well, actually, you know what? The truth of the matter is that in recent years there has been a growth in the number of smaller farmers in this country. So we've actually turned the tide a bit because we were consolidating in agriculture dramatically, but now we're beginning to see more and more small farmers, innovative farmers, using new entrepreneurial techniques, growing fruits and vegetables all over the country. So it actually is turning. There is more than just a farmer died. There's more than that.
No, it's not. It's not about farmers.
Dan.
It's about. There's one bureaucrat for every farmer. That's the. Okay, right.
No,
right.
I
farmers are off limits. I
get
get it. All right, fine. Farmers are saying it's not. It's a bureau. Okay. All right.
I
mean, if I have to
when you
explain
have to
it,
explain the joke, it's not a joke anymore.
Maybe it was the way I told it. I'm gonna practice.
It's the delivery, Dan.
I needed a rim shot or something behind me. Where was my producer? Dan Glickman, former VP of the Aspen Institute, a member of Congress, Secretary of Agriculture under President Clinton, and chairman of the Motion Picture Association. His new book, Laughing at Myself, My Education in Congress, On the Farm, and at the Movies. Dan Glickman, thanks so much for joining us. Good luck with the book.
Thank you for having me, and best to everybody in Chicagoland.
Thank you. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
It's summertime, and you want to keep the shop, warehouse, and other doors open for ventilation. Air circulation improves the well-being of your employees and customers, as well as helping keep COVID at bay. But open doors can let in the uninvited, like strangers, birds, rodents, and bugs. Industrial Door Company of Chicago, Inc. can help solve the problem with a full line of commercial screen door products designed with these specific problems in mind, including power or manual operation and superimposed door-over-door installations. Think ahead and act soon. Call Industrial Door Company of Chicago, Inc. now for your commercial door screen products. Visit their website to see a range of products and services at industrialdoor.com. Call anytime, 847-258-5620. That's 847-258-5620. Their team will be there to assist in designing a solution that works best for you. Since 1982, the Industrial Door Company of Chicago, Inc. takes care of your doors so you can take care of business. Sales, service, and installation positions available now. See website for details.
Now, I'm going to get branded as the anti-Paul Harvey now. I'm going to be branded as an anti-farmer. Bureaucracy. At least Barry Friedman got it. He tweeted, I thought the agriculture department joke was funny. Probably need